This installment of the Crucible examines the relationship between system errors and malpractice lawsuits. The paper came from a malpractice publication called the Physician Insurer. It was published in 2010, and the title is, Do Health System Errors Cause Medical Professional Liability Claims? The author examined 363 consecutive malpractice lawsuits that settled for between $100,000 and $500,000. The cases came from a large malpractice insurance company that had a national presence and covered the time period from 2004 to 2006. And to provide some context here, the author excluded small settlements, which often don't involve any mistakes, and he also excluded larger settlements where there are usually other confounding variables. So this is a very good cross-section of cases. The author found that 63% of the cases involved mistakes isolated to the physician. 29% involved both physician and system mistakes. 7% involved no mistake. And only 1% of cases involved mistakes isolated to the system. The author concluded, and I quote, "Reducing the frequency of system errors alone may not reduce the number of medical malpractice claims." In 1999, the Institute of Medicine published a report titled To Err is Human, in which they stated that most medical errors were caused by faulty systems, not faulty people, which makes me wonder why they titled the report To Err is Human, but that's not my point today. This report gave rise to the modern patient safety movement, which is heavily focused on system issues. The thinking is, if we fix the system, we'll eliminate most of the errors, and that'll eliminate most of the lawsuits. Now, you're probably wondering, what's a system error? According to the Institute of Medicine, system errors are things like medication errors, communication errors, and medical record errors. So, a medication error is a system error. If a doctor orders the wrong medication, it's the system, not the doctor. I don't agree with that. I think it's the doctor, but we don't need to debate that. For the purpose of this study, the author grouped the lawsuits according to the Institute of Medicine's criteria. He then analyzed whether eliminating the system errors would reduce the number of paid malpractice claims. Of course, because some of the system errors are actually human errors, this approach overestimates the importance of system errors, but it doesn't matter. Because even with the distorted classification, the study found that only 1% of cases involved errors isolated to the system. And this gives us some insight into why the patient safety movement has struggled to produce meaningful results. When you're focused on something that isn't causing the problem, even the best solutions aren't going to make much of a difference. Thanks for listening.